a soccer player in the Premier League was viciously attacked by a fan last week before later scoring a game-winning goal. This happened in a big game between Aston Villa and Birmingham. The man's name, Jack Grealish, I believe, was just like knocked out from behind.
Yeah, I love that because I just think that people talk about how crazy Americans are. And like Americans, like, oh, you guys are shooting up schools. You guys have these mass shootings. Everyone's nuts. Everyone's trying to be an Instagram model. You guys are crazy, crazy people. No, Europeans are crazier. Who else runs on the field to punch a player on the opposing team? Like maybe in America we get naked and run on the field and it's like a funny thing. You don't go after the players ever. Monica Seles, that wasn't in America. Remember, where was that? That was
in Europe.
That was in Europe. Europeans are crazy. Soccer fans are crazy.
You're putting it over the whole. I was just impressed. It was kind of like an older guy in like one of those little like newsboy hats, like in a kind of like a respectable looking.
It was
outfit.
Andy Capp. It was Andy Capp,
Right.
and it was exactly the kind of
But he
person
took
you
him
think
out.
would do it. He took him out. He like beat him
It was-
up. He, like, beat
It was
the guy
kind of
up.
amazing. I watched the little clips of it, and the coverage of it was really funny. There was one clip that really made me laugh of just like the response to it.
In the 9th minute, a fan ran onto the pitch and assaulted Aston Villa's Jack Grealish. These are images that will stun the world of football and without question lead to a Football Association investigation, a scene that utterly shames English football.
I love it. I love it.
I don't think they should be. I don't think he should be ashamed. I mean, it was like kind of an amazing, like if that was his goal, right? He got 100. He got an A+. If his whole point was to like run onto the pitch, look at that, and like knock the guy out, like it was like he got it done.
Yeah,
and the
but-
guy ended up scoring later.
But listen, English football fans are all about dignity and carrying that dignity with them always. If they're going to throw a banana at an African player, with dignity. If they're going to throw a flare at a referee's head, with dignity. If they are going to riot and fight each other because
Right.
they like different teams, none of which I could name, with dignity. You don't just go running on the field and taking that away.
Great shame.
Great shame. Shame on you. Shame on you, England. Shame on you, soccer. Yeah, I called it soccer. I don't even know what the pitch is. It's a baseball thing.
Russell Westbrook
My man.
made national news on Monday night in Utah. He's had a history with this fan base. Heard something he didn't like.
Before you get to the end of this, let me just say that there have been things of like players yelling at fans, fans yelling at players. This is the best thing any player has ever yelled at a fan.
I wish we could play the whole clip, but the sound quality just isn't quite good enough. But essentially, this fan said something Russell Westbrook didn't like, and he said to him, I promise you, you think I'm playing? I swear to God, I'll fuck you up. You and your wife, I'll fuck you up.
I mean, listen, any NBA player, I don't know what was said to Russell Westbrook. I'm sure the information is out there. We just did not do our research. But
He said, Russell Westbrook said the fan made some comment about getting on his knees like he used to, which I'm not even sure exactly what that means, but it's not good.
it's not good. It's not good. And Russell Westbrook seems quick to anger. But to immediately to tell someone that they are going to fuck them up and their wife, like it's not enough I beat you up. I'm going to kick your wife's ass too. I'm sure she must have been sitting next to him at the game.
Yes.
Or he at least saw a wedding ring and knew that he was married. Is the funniest thing you can say. The funniest thing.
Fuck you up and your wife.
Like, and your wife?
But here's the thing, like his teammates really defended Westbrook, and Westbrook said he doesn't take anything back. He's been hearing it from these racist Utah fans for a long time, and his teammates in Westbrook have a good point that like there's so many things protecting fans and fans' right that they can say anything, and the players are just supposed to take it.
But like, remember when the one guy got kicked out of the game for like he was in the front row and he just like stood up and screamed "fuck you" and gave double
Yeah.
birds to Westbrook. Westbrook didn't get mad. Like he just like looked at the ref and pointed at the guy and being like, "Is he allowed to do that?" And they threw the guy out. Like Russell Westbrook can be a hothead, but he doesn't lose it every time if someone yells something. He's not fucking James Dolan.
No,
going
and
crazy.
And I think that there was
which is what makes this so much funnier.
Well, and I think there was he thought it was some racial component, and then you look at this guy's Twitter account, and this guy's pretending like he didn't say anything and that he was fine. And if you look at his Twitter account, like you can find old tweets where there was one that said like Russell Westbrook needs to go back where he came from, #MAGA.
Ugh.
And yet when he was talking to a local reporter, this is the fan who has since been banned from the stadium forever, so that's good. Talking to a reporter after the game, like this is what he sounded like when he was talking about his wife.
He's got to be a professional. I mean, she was sitting down the entire time. Me and him were just, it was actually kind of having fun, to be honest.
At least you thought you were having fun?
Yeah, he was smiling at one point.
You know what annoys me the most in that clip is the reporter. You don't need to go try to like laugh and support his point in that moment. You know what I mean? The reporter doesn't need to be like, hey, I want to show you and the audience I'm on your side in that moment. Give me a break.
I think that the fan and his wife should have to fight Russell Westbrook. I think that would be great. But again, I think this is gonna be my new go-to thing from now on. If I'm mad at someone, even if they're not with their wife, I'm gonna yell, "I'll fuck you up, and your wife." It just adds an extra layer that makes me maybe one of the best insults since "I hope your children forget how to read." I think it was one of my favorite insults of all time. But this is definitely up there.
I want like a T-shirt. I'll fuck you up and your wife.
You don't want the T-shirt. You don't want people to see it coming. You want it to be a surprise when you bring their wife into it. You're like, is this guy going to fuck me up? Oh, my God, and my wife?